What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to Crustida, this MX83 Cressida build, which is a bit interesting, twin turbo and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a bit of a break. We had to wait for machine work and stuff. A lot of you guys know we have struggled for quite a long time with machining, as far as just finding a reliable machine shop that did things exactly the way we wanted them to in a timely fashion. Pretty happy to announce that we've finally teamed up with a machine shop that's really good. So we finally found a machine shop that does everything. They're really good to deal with, really good communication, and we ended up sending this block to them to get it sort of just checked over and finished off, and we're really stoked with how it came about. So we usually, like a lot of our head stuff, we send down to East Coast Engine Centre there in Nambour, and we've got a really good relationship with them. We've been going to them for a long time. Unfortunately though, they don't do everything we need them to do. They don't do dynamic balancing, they don't do sort of you know, flux testing for crack testing for cranks and things like that, whereas this machine shop, which we finally teamed up with, to actually do everything we need them to do. So stoked to have this back. It's pretty much the first engine we've got back from that machine shop to put together. I don't know how to translate with the content because of the way the timeline is now, the way I'm releasing content. So there might be a few builds you have yet to watch which come from different machine shops, but this is the first one from this one, so we're stoked about that. So
I'm the guinea pig.
We've got the guinea pig here. We've been over it and we're really happy with what they've done. So we've got Marv here. We're going to pretty much start on our assembly process. So as you can see, we've actually got the block painted. So we've gone through, we've done our block prep, painted the block, we've just finished our final clean. We've already gapped the rings. I was away all weekend, but Rex did that all on Friday for us. So rings are gapped, blocks prepped. It's time for us now to start doing our bearing clearances and actually start getting it together. It's currently the 15th of March, so Rocky Nuts is definitely creeping up.
2 weeks away.
We've got 2 weeks to get it from here to running, tuned, driving car, ready to go to Rocky Nuts. So yeah, it's going to be a push. So Marv's going to be here pretty much for the rest of the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
To help us get it together. We're waiting on the call from Gilroy's to go and pick up our gearbox. So it hopefully should be ready today or tomorrow. So hopefully we got it back, because the biggest time consuming with this, once we get the engine together and get it all back in the car, is going to be fab work. So we're hoping to have hopefully pretty much all this in the car by sort of Wednesday, which is 2 days away from now. So
we'll definitely get the engine in there. It's just gearbox might have to wait a couple extra days, but at least we can start on the fab work straight away. That's the number one thing.
The big thing. The one thing that is in our favour is that the car was already converted, so it's almost like putting a factory engine back in. Like, there's not a lot of work to be done as far as doing an engine conversion. It's just a matter of sliding the J back in where it was. We're using the same loom. We've got the Wolf ECU plug-in. So yeah,
full plug and play harness.
Is it a whole harness as well, or is it, we're using that harness that came off it?
No, it's a full plug and play. It's adapter harness.
Oh, adapter harness. Yeah. So we're using that loom with a harness adapted to the Wolf. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, it shouldn't be a whole lot of work in that sort of thing. But we haven't played with Wolf ECUs yet either. So it's another thing we don't want to leave ourselves short of time, because it might take us a few days to get this tune sorted, considering it's a platform we've never touched before. So.
But like I said,
the pressure's on.
Like I said at the start, we're just going for a crash course with that, and we're going to see how we go. Yeah, I reckon we're going to be pretty fine with it, because when it boils down to it, most programs run through the same numbers, and as we all know, as long as we've got the right air fuel mixtures and the right ignition timing.
Yeah, that's it. The actual tuning doesn't change. It's just a matter of working out the software platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So anyway, pretty excited to get this thing happening. Currently, we've gone away from going to aftermarket cams and springs. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit out of the price range for this project. We've ran out of budget.
Or not entirely. It's more budget plus timing plus a couple of other things which you'll find out on my channel. But yeah, I'll just keep it like that for now.
Keep it like that. No worries. So it's all right. We know for a fact that, you know, stock cams, stock springs, particularly with we've got plenty enough turbo to make decent power. So on 98, I still expect this to make pretty close to 450 at the wheels. So yeah, we'll see how we go.
Let's just go 420 for a safe number.
420 safe number. Yep. I reckon we should easily be able to haul that with the gear we've got. So anyway, we'll start cracking on getting this together. Righto guys, so I'll just take you through a quick run through of the equipment we're going to be using in this engine. So we've got our Real Street billet main caps. So these have been tested and proven by Real Street to over, what, 2200 horsepower?
Yeah, easy.
Something ridiculous. So very nice billet main caps. So you know, a bit higher quality than something like spool, but still fairly affordable. You just got to buy them from Real Street, which is American, I think.
Yeah, straight from Florida. And thankfully our exchange rate means it's pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap at the moment, yep. Yeah. So we've got some really nice billet mains going in this thing. Ken's managed to get some King bearings. Yeah, again from Real Street. Most of the stuff was actually supplied by Real Street in the end. The biggest problem with King bearings at the moment is where they're actually situated is massively affected by COVID. So since COVID, it's actually been really, really difficult to get stock and get hold of Kings. Also got our Spill H-beam rods here. All ARP studs, so ARP 2000 series mains and head studs. And of course our lovely CP pistons over here with our upgraded pins. So this thing should be good for a good amount of pepper.
Well, I've been confirmed by a couple of people that this entire short block right here is more than enough for 12 to 1500 horsepower.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
So the only things that are limiting me are my cams, valves, the valve train, and fuel system, because I'm only running a 340 Walbro or 350 Walbro, and using a dash 8 line and 840cc injectors. So shouldn't be expecting too much. Plus, we're doing pump 98. We're not doing E85 or any alcohol.
Yeah, so
at the moment.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but the plan originally was to use a little bit of jungle juice to get this thing happening for Rocky Nuts. That was, we talked about it in the early episodes. The plan was to go up against Scott in the Trollvo and try and take him down at Rocky Nuts. But the latest development is apparently Street Machine's not going to make it to Rocky Nuts, so Scott won't be there in Trollvo, which is fine. But it would have been nice to line up with him, but that's all right. But either way, the other thing that Maf has actually found recently is that you can't actually get hold of the fuel we wanted without an actual Andra license. So unfortunately, it's only got to be 98 at this stage. But it's only the first stage of this car, the first iteration.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though we're sticking to stock cams and springs at this stage, Maf still has plans to go cams and springs in the future.
Yeah, I did listen to you guys in the comments, get some cams, Maf. I have definitely got them actually ordered. It's just a case of wasn't going to be able to pay for it and get them here in time. No, with the snowstorms and all that are happening in America, because that snowstorm last month delayed those bearings by almost 3 weeks. So we literally only just got them a week ago.
Yeah, these only arrived last week, which is why this is a bit of a last minute rush to get it together.
Yes.
All well and good. So we'll start getting this together. I just wanted to show you all the parts because we're just going to time lapse pretty much the build from here. So enjoy, guys. Alright guys, so that's all of our main clearances checked and blueprinted. A couple of mains, or actually all bearing clearances, sorry, rods as well. Do just have one gripe with this main, number 4, which is our thrust main bearing. Might be a bit hard to see on the GoPro, but the half shell that's actually in the cap is just offline with the half shell that's in the block by about 1/2 mil. It's about 1/2 mil too far forward towards the front of the engine. So on this side you can see it's quite close to the edge of the cap, and on this side it's actually, you know, quite far away. So the actual tang in the cap, which pretty much determines where the bearing's going to sit in the cap, could easily have been moved 1/2 mil back, which would have centered that bearing shell quite a lot better and lined it up with the shell that's in the block. Wouldn't really be a big deal except for the fact that this is the thrust bearing cap. So I am seeing, it might be better if I put you straight up. It's probably pretty hard to see, but that bearing shell, the edge of it is sort of just a smidge, like you could just catch it with your fingernail, too far over. Like it's almost like the thrust bearing is going to almost push against the bearing, which I don't particularly like, but there's not really anything I can do about it. I don't know, I'll have a look. When I pull that cap off, I'll get the bearing shell out of it. I'll see. I don't really want to risk trying to modify the cap to do that, but I'm not super stoked with it. But anyway, apart from that, everything's Mickey Mouse. So stoked that Rex already got the rings for me. That saves me a heap of time at this stage because the day has really gotten away from us. This has pretty much been a whole day now. It's like 5 PM at the moment, so anyway, probably at home, have some dinner, come back, smash it together, and tomorrow we'll work on keeping on going. So while I was doing that, Maf was cleaning up a lot of the other stuff, the ancillaries to go on the motor. Did a big cleanup of the oil pump. Look how good that looks. Looking really, really nice. So that's good. That's our oil transfer thingy-mabob. Cleaned it up with a wire brush, so all looking really good. Yeah, so should be a mint little combo, this thing with this A340. I think it's going to be an awesome little car. I'm looking forward to it. Alright boys and girls, as you've seen from some of the time-lapse footage, we are bottom end together. Rotating assembly together at least, so that's
one step closer.
One step closer. We've got our oil pump and stuff on. I forgot to time-lapse that, but Marv here actually cleaned it all up while I had the gears out of it with a wire brush. Cleaned it all up nice and beautiful like.
Yeah, 5-minute rush job. That's not up to my standard. People on my channel know what my standard is.
So yeah, rear main plate, oil pumps on. I just cleaned up the oil pickup. Maf has painted his sump pretty blue. So the sump's got to go on, then we got windage tray pickup, bottom sump. And then we'll start working on the head after that. Get the head on here. And yeah, pretty much getting there. So he got this whole gasket set. It's only missing one thing we found, which is this, which is the O-ring for the oil filter housing thing. So that's the only thing we don't have a new one of. So we've ordered a new one of them. It's going to be here on Thursday morning. It's currently Tuesday afternoon. So should be here, not too far away. But
quick overnight from Japan for the oil filter bit, and
yeah,
it should be pretty much good to go.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Alright guys, we've got big old blue sump on. So Maf painted the sump at home and cleaned it all up. So it's looking good. The blue sump will probably make a lot more sense once it's actually in the car. But anyway, that's our bottom end together. So now we're just waiting on a water pump. Maf's ordered a new water pump and a new power steering pump, which should hopefully be tomorrow. And then we're just waiting on that O-ring for the oil filter housing duva.
Thursday morning.
Should be Thursday morning, so next thing's get stuck into this head. But this is probably enough for one episode, so bottom end episode I suppose you call it. Get the bottom end together. So one bottom end ready and rearing to go. And thanks for watching. As always guys, hope you're enjoying the build. Smash like, smash subscribe, head over to Maf's channel, check it out if you would like to check out some more content of this build from his perspective. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one where we're getting this head together. So cheers for watching guys, peace out, see you, bye.